Hello, my name is Matt Patterson, and this is my second speech on the topic of the costs of space exploration and whether or not we should continue to pursue that as a society. So, in preparation for this speech, I interviewed two people. One that is more in the field, studying a science major here at App State, and one that is just completely out of the realm and just gave me their knowledge based on what they've heard on the news or elsewhere. And so I asked them just some general questions about just to find out what they know about space, and tried to get more towards how they would prioritize space compared to some of their other priorities. But the most interesting response I got were about the ideas they have about what things cost. And so I asked them to tell me, just give me a space mission that has inspired you or that you can just think of, and give me your best estimate as to what you think it costs in today's dollars. And so the first response said the Apollo program, which was the program that took us to the moon in the 60s, and they said it costs $20 million in today's money. So that number's a little bit off. According to an article called Apollo 11, How Much Did It Cost to Land Astronauts on the Moon by William Harwood in 2019. Harwood found that the true costs were about $257 billion in today's money. The second response picked the Falcon 9 program by SpaceX, which is much more recent, and they estimated that the cost was around $20 billion. When in fact it was much less. It was only $300 million. And that is according to a press release from SpaceX in 2013 called Why the US Can Beat China, the Facts About SpaceX Costs. So both of these people either wildly overestimated or underestimated the costs. And, one of these responses was from somebody who studies a topic related to this and was still off. So I think that shows that the public, even the public that has an interest in this sort of stuff, a lot of the times doesn't have a good understanding of what the true costs of these things are. Another article I researched was called The GAO Fails NASA for Soaring Space Program Costs in Report to Key Members of Congress. And this is a report from 2006 that just found that in many different programs, NASA's budget was just soaring, and that it needed to get in check. So costs in space are hard to define, and they often are more than even the people deepest involved expect them to be. So getting costs in check is something really important. Excuse me. So another issue that I wanted to focus on was sustainability. And so I found an article from the Planetary Sustainability Collection by Andreas Loesch, and this was published in 2020, looking at the impact of satellites on sustainability. And this article was from a non-biased perspective, so they offered two ideas, pros and cons. And firstly, they said that satellites have been unbelievably useful to scientists for identifying patterns and just general data collection. They've seen all number of different kinds of satellites, and it's helped people come up with action plans to solve real issues based on the data. And this is in response to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals set out by the UN. But Loesch proposed that maybe an 18th goal should be added, which dealt with space junk and pollution. As we send more and more satellites up, even satellite constellations, it's important to make sure that we're keeping that space clean. So I really enjoyed researching this topic yet again, and look forward to preparing for speech 3.